Hey everybody, I'm Alex.
I'm Cody.
And we're here with Slow Your Roll, and today we got something a little bit different for you. We're going to be reviewing a virtual VTT. This virtual VTT is called RPG Stories. Full disclosure, we were given a Steam key for the game from Brave Alice Games. But this wasn't a paid-for review, this is just our opinions on the VTT. And we spent a lot of time learning a bunch of different features that they have on offer. Some of my favorites happen to be the massive amount of character models that you have.
Yeah, by default, the VTT has 6,000 3D models that are just available and like assets. So you've got all the rocks, mountains, trees, even character models, and it's available as soon as you purchase the product. So it is a like one-off purchase kind of situation. It's not like a subscription-based thing. So if you buy the player or GM version, obviously the player version is a little cheaper, but the GM version includes everything. And the developers have already said that they're going to make like 5,000 more 3D model assets to put in the game, and all of it's going to be included with that first purchase, so you don't have to keep buying DLCs or whatever.
That's pretty awesome. That's basically doubling the amount of characters, and they do cover like a wide range of genres. It's not just fantasy like you may be thinking, but there's like modern and sci-fi things too. You could make a dilapidated wasteland city, or you could make a spaceship. And while you're making spaceships, you basically have these automatic ways to build, but not type in I want a spaceship and then you get a spaceship. It's almost like a automatic room builder, or if you were trying to make a mountain range or forest, it'd be easy enough to do so almost at the flick of a wrist.
Another thing that's nice is a lot of the 3D assets that are put in the game, especially for characters and monsters, NPCs, things like that, they are animated by default. So you can drag and drop a character into your scene that you're building, and they'll kind of do like a little idle animation, like they're in a video game, which is kind of nice and gives a little bit more life to like the still shots of your scene.
Definitely. And especially since most of those models are going to be the enemy, not the player, it's much more important to like not have to narrate that kind of thing if you were just to play a 3D VTT.
Another thing that's nice is the whole time you have the VTT open, on the right side there's a very small panel for your dice, and it's a whole full TTRPG dice set. So obviously it's a full dice panel that's going to support basically anything you play, from D&D to Pathfinder to just simple D6 games. It's all there.
One of the coolest things about the characters is it's not just limited to the 5,000 or so, or maybe even 11,000 here in the future. You can actually go to Hero Forge yourself, create a custom awesome character, and put it right into the game. And that might just be the first thing I do if we were going to start a new campaign.
And the nice thing is, it's a very simple process. It's really just like going to Hero Forge, copying your link, and putting it into the game. And you've got access to your whole Hero Forge library. So it's not like you have to import each individual character or anything like that. It's a very simple process, and that is definitely the way I prefer to have my characters in the game, because of the customization that Hero Forge gives you.
Absolutely.
One thing that is cool about it being a 3D world that you're kind of building your maps in and things, your scenes, is the fact that they included a lot of different quest tools. So you can like drop these little feathers in the game that are actual like 3D markers, more or less, that have notes and basically the handouts that you'd give to the player and links to the journal in the game. So that's pretty convenient if you're trying to set up a scene where you find something specifically and then boom, here it is. Here's all the info you need.
Yeah, I really like that too, especially because that opens up almost a new space for creators. Because sure, you could make this map and then play it with your friends that one time and it would go to waste, but you could put it on like the Steam Marketplace or share it with a whole bunch of different people. This could be like a module that becomes popular, and there could be a whole bunch of different like lively quest points that you put within it. So it could almost be like a one-shot that you download and just run.
Absolutely. In fact, that is one of the coolest things about this whole situation. We didn't actually mention it yet, but this game, this is a game technically on Steam, and because it's on Steam, the developers want it to have the most open access to users possible. So there's already a bunch of stuff in the Steam Workshop that people have built as far as like custom buildings. You can pick up an entire blacksmith building there, or tavern, and a bunch more stuff. I mean, there's people that have made entire like one-shot games with scenes laid out already. And anytime that the users have that kind of freedom to continue to like mod and build onto the game, I mean, honestly, that's enough to keep a game running for many years in the future. I mean, look at Skyrim.
Exactly. It's almost crucial nowadays. I might also say, in the same vein of the great community that they've already got started on Discord, you can see so many cool creations from the community. And honestly, my favorite has got to be Gandalf fighting the Balrog on the treacherous bridge. I can only hope that it falls at the end.
And of course, because this is 3D scene building, you've got a really cool camera system so that the players can actually look around at the map whenever they want to. And this is especially good for the people that like to build really detailed maps, so that they're like, everything that you have in the map is actually there. You know, like that barrel over there, that's actually a barrel that your barbarian can pick up and throw at somebody or whatever. So the camera system's pretty nice. There are specific GM controls that help you kind of highlight specific areas and choose where the players spawn in on the map. And there's Fog of War too, which is really interesting in a 3D aspect, the way that works, but it works out pretty well and it's convenient. Even when you're like building your maps, there's a weather system that you can use to make your shots look more dramatic. There's camera filters if you want to do just like an overtop screenshot. The camera filters help bring the map together like that. I mean, it's got a lot going on, even just as the 3D world builder. And that's kind of how I use it instead of just a VTT. But yeah, it's good for that.
But even within the VTT, one of the GM controls is a cinematic camera, which is also really cool too. It's almost like you get to be a director and GM when you're playing this game. So once again, we have to thank Brave Alice Games for sending these Steam keys, because I probably wouldn't have experienced a 3D VTT otherwise. This is technically my first go round into it, and I'm actually pretty happy that I happened to land on the biggest 3D world builder out there right now. And I'm certain once they double the amount of character models, it'll still have that title. Plus, you're essentially able to run it with any game system, which really appeals to me because I've kind of been on the fence about D&D lately, if you can't tell. But in the same vein of reliability in the game, D&D might be letting me down, but Brave Alice Games has already met every one of their promises from a previous Kickstarter and then some. So with this kind of wholesome community, I already have I'd say a little bit of trust there. I don't feel like they're going to run away with my money like the rest of the game industry likes to do with Kickstarter.
Yeah, and when Alex says that they fulfilled every promise, I mean, we looked through like their Discord and their Kickstarter stuff so far and everything, and the team has literally fulfilled every single promise and then done more on top of that. And they have videos on their YouTube with the tutorials on how to use the VTT. So all of this has already happened with their first Kickstarter, and the thing is released on Steam. So you can like actually use this right now. The developers often say in many different ways that they really want people to like just imagine what they'll do in the next year and a half with even more funding, because they've literally crushed all their goals so far. And speaking of that, all of the developer team is insanely active on Discord. They're all on Discord and they're all active every single day.
Absolutely. If you've got questions, they got answers. At least my experience. As soon as I got in contact with them, it was almost instant.
But anyway, for me, it's an awesome world builder specifically. I'm going to use it to build a lot of maps, and I already have for our duo campaign and stuff too. So that's cool. Thank you guys so much. Please do check this out. Their Kickstarter is live now. We'll have links in the description for all of it, of course. And just thanks for watching.
Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
After 2 years of dedicated development and delivering on our promises, we're thrilled to embark on a new chapter with our first expansion Kickstarter campaign, The Wrath of Devs. But what sets this VTT Kickstarter campaign apart? RPG Stories VTT is already available on Steam, allowing you to start playing immediately. With no waiting period post-campaign, backers will receive keys instantly, and new features will be regularly delivered through monthly updates. We've got you covered across all 3 major tabletop RPG eras: fantasy, modern, and sci-fi. Our platform offers a massive world builder with over 6,000 models, fully operational during online gaming sessions, allowing game masters to unleash their creativity and theatricality whenever inspiration strikes. With RPG Stories VTT, you have the flexibility to swiftly craft your quest or access pre-built quest environments through our active community's Steam workshop. So, what's new? Wrath of Devs is improving the overall experience of RPG Stories VTT, introducing AI auto-generated scenes for all 3 eras that will highly increase the speed of world building, character sheets, and rule sets. Roman Empire. These aren't the droids you are looking for. Underwater and SeaWorld. Dark Cyberpunk. Nowadays Modern Era. Scheduled to launch in April 2024, The Wrath of Devs is not just a Kickstarter campaign. It's our dream to make RPG Stories the community's VTT. Get notified today. RPG Stories. It's all about your stories.